And then right when she turns 18, she gets on OnlyFans. The whole thing is fucking disgusting and vile. But it makes sense as to why she did it, because it's so celebrated in our culture. Whether you see Bonnie Blue or Lily Phillips getting fucking celebrated for banging 500 dudes, and like Sophie Rain making zillions of dollars, and everyone caring about it and thinking that's cool, when all she's doing is selling her body. And it's like, no, this is not the pathway forward, because where does this end? There is no end. The fringe becomes the fringe becomes the fringe, and it keeps getting extended out farther and farther and farther. And then there's no fucking end to it. And now I don't know where society goes after that.
With boys doing different things, sort of alluding to things in a sexual nature. Just a treasure trove of just weird posts, in my opinion, that went on for years and years. And we originally spoke about Piper because she was invited to something called the Bop House, which is a house where OnlyFans creators get together and they make their sexual content with one another. She was invited to that house at 17 to make a bunch of TikToks, which of course is a red flag. And that red flag that we waved turned out to be a pretty valid one, considering as soon as she turned 18, she started an OnlyFans. Now, as I was looking into Piper Raquel's background and her presence online, I found what I believe to be some pretty disturbing things that not only involved her, but other minors on the internet. One of the weird things I found was a page that she had on a website called Brand Army, and she was not the only minor with a page like this. Now, when you go to the page, you're going to find that there are three.
This is what I was alluding to earlier. Because I watched this video that Amala made, and it's, again, if you're interested in this topic and how kind of vile and evil this shit is, you should definitely look at it.
Tiers of membership. There's a $5 membership, a $30 membership, and a $100 membership. I wonder what you're getting there. And in the About Me, it says, I'm so excited to share more of me with you. Kissy face, lock emoji, parent managed. Tens of thousands of people are already on this page, have signed up, have gotten the photos, and the actual profile picture on this page is Piper in a bikini posing sexually. And when you read the description for the $100 package, it says, congrats on joining Piper Platinum Plus. You will receive one free full set the first of every month, a free set of your choice.
The sort of the creepiest part about this is it's parent managed, which kind of means it's parent forced, because they're probably making money from her. Like, there's no way she's just keeping all of the money, and it's sort of gross either way. But there maybe potentially seems like they're sort of forcing her to do this because they like the money that comes with it. And as a parent, current parent, a very young child, it's fucking evil. It's fucking evil shit.
To unlock on your birthday, free DMs, free access to live streams, priority customs, free behind the scenes, and biggest discount access to unlock all photos with a purple devil emoji and a monkey with its hand over its eyes. So I imagine when they're talking about sets or getting a free full set, they're talking about photos of some sort. I don't know what priority customs means. I'm going to leave that to your imagination. And of course, the devil emoji and the little monkey with the hand over the eyes insinuates what you will be signing up for here. And why anybody would be paying $100 a month for this is beyond me. But for the sake of confirming my suspicions, I'm going to see what Piper Pro Plus actually is. And let's go ahead and fork out $5. So guys, I paid $5 to unlock this page. And what you get when you unlock this page is a treasure trove of sexual photos of a minor.
Now, I'll remind you again, when I found this page, Piper Raquel was 17 years old, and this page was supposedly parent managed. And that's what the pages of not only her, but other minors stated as you opened them and tried to subscribe. This took me down a rabbit hole on a ton of different sites where there are teen influencers, at least that's what they're calling themselves, that are opening up these subscription pages and allowing their patrons to purchase bikini-clad photos and sexually suggestive photos. And again, an important note is that almost all of these sites claimed to be parent managed, at least for their junior users under 18. And then, of course, I have to ask myself, which parent of Piper's is allowing this to happen and is allegedly running these websites like the site on Brand Army? Now, I don't know this to be true, but allegedly, in my research, all roads lead to Piper Raquel's mother. I actually uncovered that Piper Raquel's mother, alongside her boyfriend, that guy who was pretending to be Piper's brother in the shaving cream challenge or whatever, they were sued for child abuse and retaliation by kids who were involved in the content creation that was happening on Piper Raquel's YouTube page. One of the plaintiffs in this lawsuit actually...
I mean, the more Amala goes into this stuff, the more fucking vile it gets. And then you got the sort of the larger also societal question on top of that is, who are the people that are actually signing up for this? It's also disgusting. also needs accountability, also needs repercussions for their actions. It's like the whole mess of it, young women putting all of this stuff out on the internet, men of all ages, buying and signing up for this shit. It's all bad on both sides. And there needs to be some sort of fucking reckoning at some point. I don't know where you go from this, how you sort of reverse the trend. I don't know how it happens, but it needs to happen.
Alleged that Piper Raquel's mother was mailing Piper's underwear to men who were interested in buying it. So there you have it. A lot of weird stuff surrounding this young girl online and many others like her. And it seems as though many of these young girls are being exploited by parental figures and parents in their lives. And while at the time I tried to reach out to sites like Brand Army to see if they were investigating this or doing anything about the junior accounts and the content that they were selling, we heard back from exactly 0 people. In fact, I don't know if this is related, but I tried to look into Brand Army again because of Piper Raquel's creation of this OnlyFans. And it looks like they've changed their name to wink.ing and they're now operating under a new site. So I don't know why that is. But now, of course, we have the final update, and that is that Piper Raquel has turned 18 and started an OnlyFans. So, of course, she went from a 10-year-old who was having videos of shaving cream bath challenges posted on platforms like YouTube to an 18-year-old who is now selling sexual content online on OnlyFans. Now she's marketing this OnlyFans online, claiming to have made over $1 million in 24 hours, although some fans and followers are pointing out this does not seem to be true, considering she did a bad Photoshop job and left a dollar sign where one was not supposed to be in her initial screenshot. Now she deleted that tweet, posted another alleging to have made over $2 million. So who knows how much money this young girl is raking in, but we do know that she's raking in money. Her OnlyFans does have quite a bit of traffic.
It doesn't really matter how much money she made in the 24-hour span. It really matters that a bunch of fucking people signed up for it because she's 18. But the whole problem with it is that, she's allowed to do whatever she wants at 18. Great, fine. You can do whatever you want. But the problem is that she's been, being exploited for this sexually explicit content since a very young age from her parents. And that this kind of stuff is celebrated because she's making quote unquote money. But does anyone know how she feels about it? Does anyone know if it's going against her will, or does anyone know if she's doing it actually because she wants to? Like, I don't know if anyone does sex work and OnlyFans or prostitution because they want to. Maybe most people feel like they have to do it. But is anyone looking into that? Her friends, her family? Because her mother's obviously turned her back on her and only uses her as sort of like a money-making scheme, which is very, very evil. But let's continue.
Although it might not be to the tune of $2.3 million or whatever it is that she's posted online. This unfortunately seems to be a news cycle that's being created online where young girls are becoming influencers and they're finding followers and fans who are interested in sexually suggestive content. Their parents or managers or whoever is creating this content with them is then leaning into the sexually suggestive nature that this content could be made in, and then following that to the furthest extent possible, which is the ability to be on sites like Brand Army or wink.ing as it's now called, and to be selling bikini-clad photos and suggestive photos. Then when these young girls turn 18, because they know the sexual nature and the sexual reality of their content and of their fans, they start an OnlyFans. This is where we get the Sophie Rains and the Lil Tays. And
let me sort of explain what I think here in terms of this. Like, a lot of people get on OnlyFans and they're like, oh, I'm just going to do like the same pictures I post on Instagram and it's going to be fine. I'll be able to make money. It'll be great. But there's something about the audience, and you have to capture the attention and you have to keep giving more and more and more, or else you're going to lose the audience that you have. You're going to lose the attention. They're going to go elsewhere. The only thing that I can relate this to is like, I used to be a professional wrestler like WWE. And when I was very, very young in the business as an independent wrestler, I didn't have any money, wasn't getting any bookings, like had no name for myself. There's this like weird group of people that will buy like used ring gear and things like that. And so at the very start, I thought it was like normal. They're like, hey, can we, buy this shirt that you wore to the ring in? I was like, cool. Yeah, I don't have any money. I don't know why you want it from me. I'm not famous, but like, sure. And then as you continue saying yes to stuff, the requests get more and more and more and more out of control. And so that sort of vibe is the same vibe that can happen on OnlyFans. Of course, you start with like, I'm just going to post some bikini photos and the stuff I wear to the beach and people see me everywhere. But then it's more. Can you do more? Can you do more? Can you do more? Can you do more? And now it's leading to you, I don't know, taking 50 dudes in the butthole like Lily Phillips or some fucking wild shit like that. And I get where that can go because the money starts to come in, you want to sort of keep the attention of the fans that come, but then you sort of lose all of your morals and you lose all your sense of self and you become a person that you don't even recognize, all because you wanted to make some money or you felt like you had to do it because you wanted to keep the audience that you had. I felt that way sort of when I was like selling, my ring shirts or my socks or whatever. And then the requests got sort of out of control. And thank God I was like able enough and started making money enough as a wrestler to be able to say no and step away from that and say, yeah, that's just not how I want to live my life. And I already sort of feel dirty about the whole thing. But you can see where that line goes and how deep it can actually be. And then you're 5, 6 years in and you've done all this stuff and you can't really take it back because the internet is forever. And so that's just me explaining my perspective of how I see it. But then there's also on top of this for these young girls, there is a societal sort of element to it. There's a parental element. There's an objectification element to it. There's a money making element. There's a fame element to it. Right? All of these things go into it.